coming back to the senior judiciary, let's talk about the judges. So there are many different kind of judges in the UK. If you could a little bit tell us about that and their role.
Yes. As we see on the slide, we have justices of the Supreme Court, Court of Appeal judges, High Court judges. The further down we go, we get to district judges, circuit judges, recorders in some of the lower courts. We have on here as well, we can see the divisional aspects of the High Court, King's Bench Division, Chancery, Family. Even below that, we don't have, we're not obviously judges, but in the magistrates' courts, we have magistrates as well who perform similar functions at a lower level. In terms of how we would address them, on here we can see my lord, my lady a lot, judge or master. Magistrates we usually address actually as your worship.
But the judges of the Supreme Court are actually sort of the highest level in the career of judge, right?
Supreme Court, yes, absolutely.
Do you have any sort of favorite judges from?
Yes, actually. So one of my favorite judges to read his judgments is Lord Denning, who was previously in the Court of Appeal, because he was a bit of a maverick and often made some quite interesting decisions.
So besides this court system, there's also other alternative dispute resolution services, let's put it this way. So alternative dispute resolution, as many may know, includes arbitration, mediation, and different other methods of that. This is basically a slide on the same, so we are not going to expand on that. And let's move to quite important topic, especially for those who try to choose if to qualify as a solicitor or as a barrister. If you could a little bit tell us the difference, that's actually is about the higher rights of audience, right? All right.
So barristers often deal with advocacy in superior courts like the Supreme Court, Court of Appeal. Solicitors, if we are involved in advocacy, it's in the lower courts because we don't have higher rights of audience. If you want to, as a solicitor, you can obtain higher rights of audience and become a solicitor advocate. It's a relatively short course, actually, to do that, but it's not something you would do unless really you felt that it was necessary to become a solicitor advocate. If you're going to work, for example, in property law and spend a lot of your time drafting contracts and dealing with transactional work, it's not really necessary to become a solicitor advocate. Obviously, we have different regulators as well, as on the slide. Barristers have the Bar Standards Board. Solicitors, we have the SRA, the Solicitors Regulation Authority.
There's a different qualification process as well.
Yes, absolutely. Barristers go through a pupillage after they study what is now, I think, the BPTC, the Bar Practical Training Course.
Yeah, Bar Training Course, I think, is just...
Yeah, previously the BVC. We have the LPC, the Legal Practice Course, and then we go and do our training contract of 2 years full-time before we fully qualify.
From what I understand, barristers also are more independent, so they usually work as a part of a chamber and not a part of a law firm. Or
barristers are self-employed, and they usually will end up working in chambers. They'll perhaps get a tenancy at chambers. There's additional dimensions to being a barrister that make it quite complicated in that respect. As a solicitor, if we go to work at a law firm, we're usually an employee unless we become an equity partner, and we have a lot of employment rights. Barristers, as self-employed people, have a lot more responsibilities in terms of their taxes and potentially also less employment rights as self-employed people.
All right, so hopefully it will help someone to make the choice.